Hey everyone, we're back with more FF14. We still got like an hour and a half left to stream, and we are now in Radza 10. I can do it. Oh, I won. Our radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, though it pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There is no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for whatever is yet to come. Oh shit, can I get honey yellow? I can. There we go, honey yellow. The game foretold. The game foretold honey be lovely. You think Sasai should rebrand as Dragon Quest Array? No, there's too many people on Twitter who do stuff like that. I should rebrand as Bob Dole. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Megaduta for the time being. There I can manage the crisis and dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformations and the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain the exact what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight into possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let's split into 3 groups that we may cover more ground. Alisei and I will see to Pax's path. Thancred and Nishola pray make for Dharma. I leave Artha and Graha to you and Mira. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy or the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be the most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Megaduta, that we may share what we have learned with the satrap. Abdul Gun Quest Array. You know, Bob Dole really did a disservice to his name. I feel like we could retake that name and claim it. And save it. Shall we be off then? That seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke briefly with Nuhidin, the chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He should be happy to answer our queries. Yeah, I get it. Graha will be staying with me. They make me run all the way across the fucking city. Vector, what are your thoughts on Slurpuff? Believe it or not, I apparently have never seen a Slurpuff in Pokemon Go. It doesn't even show up in my Pokedex as like a silhouette of anything I've seen on the map. Well, the dog's barking outside. I probably have, and I probably will again. As Slurpuff is a weird-ass Pokemon, and you will hear that question. Ah, I remember those red eyes. You were with those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? I welcome you back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubling times? We're assisting the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Did you happen to catch sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful that the very ground shook. I rushed outside and could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly, I heard panicked screams coming from the direction of Balsan Bazaar. In the next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed to the scene, only to be sent sprawling as the fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. So the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. Thank you for sharing your tale. Well, I do believe we were where we should inquire next. To the bazaar, then. It's alright. You'd ever use it in a team? Would you ever slur its puff? Slurp its puff? Jeremy, did you ever emerge from the markets? Or are you still there to this very day? So this is Statnarian weave. I must say, it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. Small wonder really, given that it's just across the water. Not that I'm much of an expert in Corvosi culture. Of course, I've not had the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Charlian. and like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days, I felt more acutely aware of my heritage, and grateful for it. It is thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of ancient Alleg. And so, while I simply hope that my countrymen are safe, and one day, when this calamity is but a memory, I would like to see Corvos again, if only once. Forgive me, but my shop is closed until further notice. Needless to say, we've had more pressing concerns these days. We've not come in search of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Did you perchance witness anything? Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw its little minions. Made a mess of the place, they did. While that was all going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck asking there. Wait. Do you wash your walls on exclusively Thursdays, dudes? Also, welcome, dudes. Is something the matter, traveler? If you are lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We're not lost, but we are in need of information. Might you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? Aye, I saw it all. Though I wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around and there was the fiend, its massive body bursting through that entryway with the force of a tidal wave, and then it was gone as quickly as it came. Kind of seems like it didn't do any damage at all. Just saying. Sisters, have mercy. What is still happening to the world? What am I to do? Is nowhere safe? Settle down, friend. The danger is past, at least for now. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what you saw? First I heard the screams, then a horde of ravening beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than a Merid, throwing people about like ragdolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter, saw others do the same, but the shrieking and wailing kept getting louder, more voices than the throng beasts of victims. I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening. I still don't. That is enough, my good man. You were brave to share this with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible too has survived mostly unscathed. Pray, stay close to your friends and loved ones, and rest your body and mind while you are able. I suspect that is the most we can expect from people here to tell us. I think we best find a place outside the bazaar that we might rest and review our findings. Why do people always have to rest after, like, walking for 5 minutes? Judging by their accounts, the transformation has already occurred by the time the beast reached the bazaar. It tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed towards the XIV Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may have first appeared in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in that Mahan can surely tell us more. Mahan? Alright, this is our introduction to this area. This is an area that, apparently I'm not attuned to. Oops. This is an area that they like to send you to, but... Going up to the enormous beast, are you? I saw it, including the very instant that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. It started over there by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversations must have turned for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body bursts apart, and there stands a hideous, slithering beast, massive and foul, all gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friend starts shrieking, and then the black mist comes again until the change takes them too. The stuff of nightmares, I tell you. Nightmarish indeed. Incidentally, do you perchance know who those merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade. Not much cause to mingle with their sort. Saw Milil, the barmaid, chatting with them though. She might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. You mean the blasphemy? That's what the Radiant have been calling it anyway. I saw it too. We all did. I was standing here at the counter as Merid poured me a drink, and then suddenly there came this dreadful sound, like a pained, angry groan. It was something like anything I ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an ominous black cloud of black mist rose the creature, enormous and ghastly to behold. That's what happened next. To recall it sent shivers up my spine, but some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got his claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered no solace. This blue sky above turned red as blood. Merid, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn. I'm certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. If you give him a place to sleep, dudes, he'll wash your walls for free. For free. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Merid's Mayhem. What can we get you? I don't think I'm pronouncing that word correctly, but we have not come for libations, but rather information. You're Malil, yes? We're investigating the so-called blasphemy on the satrap's behalf. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant, that first underwent the transformation. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Kalzal was his name. He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily in the exports of Thavnarian specialties. We met Kalzal at the beginning of the expansion. Through him we met Matsuya. Or Matsuya. The elephant fisher. Not elephant, yes, the name rings a bell. Matanga. The name rings a bell. Didn't you meet them both on your first trip to Thavnar? If I recall correctly, Kalzal ran a trading operation in Nidlimad, and it was there that you made Matsuya's acquaintance. Yes, that is the same Kalzal, no doubt. A rather successful man from what I gather. That said, it was clear that he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere cannot have been good for business. Even now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the Empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market of luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of a trading consortium, I see. Kalzal was a compassionate man. Even as his own business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. Yet, as they discussed matters further, Kalzal's tone grew grave and grim. It was then that... Forgive me, I would not have you recall the memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask you just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual about Kalzal in particular? Please, anything at all? Alright, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Kalzal lived for his work and had no family that I know of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too are lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. I can direct you to them if you believe it would help. What do you say? Kalzal made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Kalzal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. Kama. The name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. I cannot promise that you will find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it's a start. Come, let us see where this takes us. I know he's following us. Our new dog is very big, but she's the easy one because she just sleeps most of the day and she's also your favorite. I thought Asane was your favorite. Let's see. After leaving the main, we retrace our steps and head back towards the Aetheryte Plaza. Right now, His Majesty's hiding because I had the living room and dining room tore up, so he's in the closet. Mira, I invited my coworker over yesterday to meet Mira, and he came in and she sniffed him, ran away, came back, sniffed him again, ran away. You're a sweet cat. That's right. From here, we ascend the stairs. Gage, if you met Vector in real life, how long would the fight last for? Ah, this must be huge. In which case, we must take the path leading southeast. That sounds ominous. Dudes, how about you stop doing the work that you're not supposed to be doing and get someone else to do it for you, like Rob or... Oh. This must be Kama! We've arrived at last. Let us begin questioning the residents without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us more about Calzel. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Cheshire Cat! Can I go into this building? Looks like I can. There you go. Hey, Marty. Calzel, you say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return, he'd spend his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. You could say it came to him as easily as breathing. Sadly, business was flagging of late. No surprise, really. What with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day, no doubt racking his brain for ways to turn his fortunes around. Then at night, I heard the door open. I looked out to see Calzel sitting on the bench. His head hung low, a man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I see, the situation must be quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of other than the troubles with his consortium. He was the same old Calzel, cordial and honest like always. These questions you're asking, has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in that horrible, terrible incident in the bazaar, was he? I don't mind travel much these days, but my daughter's told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I've heard little about the bazaar going on. Rest assured, the city's safer now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter and be prepared to take refuge should the satrap order it. You love Vector, you'd never want to fight him. That said, you're 6'6" and over 300 pounds with two black belts. I'm pretty confident in my chances in most fights. Weight classes exist for a reason. Did you come back another time? I just woke up and I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion. You may not have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavnair. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation turn dire. But before we leave you in peace, pray allow us to ask a question or two. Did you know a local merchant named Calzel? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Calzel? I know him. In fact, we spoke just the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he'd managed to turn things around, thanks to a generous order from Riverdale Fibers. Why, he was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume it went well. Jinabaha might be able to tell you more, though. As I recall, he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Jinabaha, Riverdale Fibers. This sounds promising. Do you ever include your weight class in your date class? And when you meet them, do you tell it was fate class? And when they deny you, do you tell them it was because of hate class? So there's a boss in FF14 right now that has to do with bees called Honeybee Lovely. That is pretty popular, actually. My raid group did not appreciate my descriptions for one of the bosses we're fighting, including a bunch of bee puns. If I'm not mistaken, these stairs lead to Dharma. It's quite the sight, the red sky above. During the final days of yore, the heavens burned and the stars fell. Creation magics run amok. That was my assumption when I saw Emerald. Perhaps the ancients believed the same, that the terror of a single powerful individual was the cause of their calamity. And yet, those selfsame horrors now manifest themselves before our eyes. What could it be that sets the heavens aflame and turns ordinary men into beasts? Not honey chai jokes? No, we did have some of those though. Like our new healer told Nick that he was her favorite warrior, and that I was her favorite paladin, and Nick goes, "That's not fair. I'm not even their favorite dancer." And Nick was like, "Honey chai is," and she's like, "Yes, exactly." They're farming silkworms. This must be Riverdale fibers, where we should find Jinbaya. I'm here. And hurry, I say! There's no time to waste! Pardon me, but you are in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions we'd like to... I'm sorry, but I simply don't have time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those accursed beasts return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. What? No, I don't want to do that. Very well. You can start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others what to put where. You never win boss fights. Sure. You blame dues? That's fair. And you can carry our fabrics. Go through that door and speak with Kamala. She'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. I don't give a shit about that. Just answer my fucking questions about Calzal. You should also blame Omega. Fun fact, Dudes and Omega are dating in real life now. This sounds terrible to say. This area is for employees only. Out, out! What's that? You've come to help? Oh, praise be to Mindaruba. Kind shaver, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you pass 3 storehouses, yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate to Nabrafal by the storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manuha, and that massive crate there goes to Zamara by the middle storehouse. Watch your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready. Once they've been delivered, consider your work here complete. Oh great, I got limited time to complete the task. Alright, I don't know where to take this one. That is it, and you come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. Okay, they're all in the same spot. You mean to tell me you couldn't just be like, hey buddy, standing by that door, come pick this up? Do you have any crates of finished products, such as carpeting, clothing, and the like? Pray, bring them here to our primary storehouse. A crate full of clothing, is it? I can take it off your hands. Many thanks for the delivering. Seriously, I can see that man from right here. I could probably take out a Shiwi and hit him from here. Carbuncle, go bite that man. Same with this one. I say, you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing that. You never know when you're going to need to defend yourselves in these unpredictable times. A crate full of fabrics, is it? Exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You've carried all the crates to these storehouses, you say? And so quickly, too. Why, I've never seen anyone so strong. I and my associates will see to the rest. Please, return to Jinbaya and assure him that our work is proceeding apace. To tell the truth, we're grateful for this distraction. Too many terrible happenings of late. But generous souls like yourself give me hope for what may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. No, seriously. Done as I asked, have you? If Kamala is satisfied with your work, then so am I. You've done us a great favor, traveler. Hey, Mira. Did you do us a great favor too? I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stowed away, we'll not lose any more of those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attack unscathed? We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left for the day, but those of us still here saw it all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, and then, before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the door, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues was not so fortunate. He cried out, a scream of such agony, such terror. In the next instant, he too spread fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. I'm sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed, you knew the merchant Kalzal, did you not? I believe he had some dealing with your establishment. Kalzal? I know him well. We'd arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, but so is ours. Another of our most reliable trading partners agreed to transport the goods for a much smaller commission, and we'd have been fools to refuse. I felt terrible withdrawing the offer, but you must understand, we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair was plain as day. He said he'd discuss it with his associates, but I could tell he had all but given up hope. Dejection and despair. You remember what we saw in Venispati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts, one after the next. It would seem that the same phenomenon occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by fiends, as well as those that witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect everything began with Kalzal. By all accounts, it was he who suffered from the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, could that be it? That such intense emotions were what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. Cheshire puts on a brave face, but if you captured him, he'd probably shit his pants and then show it to you. Beyond the depths of despair. We were to reconvene with the others outside of, in front of Megaduda, were we not? Then that should be just outside. With any luck, they will have already returned from their own investigations. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spared further tragedy, but remember, your lives are far more precious than any wares. If you're ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern and pray you to take care as well. Alright, let's get out of this building and make our way towards Megaduda, where we will take a break and then come back for more FF14. Oh, no, never mind. They're just out here. Alright, let's take a break. We'll come back, guys, and kick some more butt. Don't go anywhere.